Right. Welcome back to another episode of my movie review series, episode 530. Now, last week I said that I was going to stay in the superhero field, do a Marvel movie, and yeah, there are no strings on me. Yeah, man. Avengers, Age of Ultron. Yeah, 2015. Starring a lot of people. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, Big Chris Hemsworth, um, Anthony Mackie, um, a lot of people in this movie, man. James Spader, voice Ultron. Paul Bettany, he not only he voiced Jarvis, but he's playing Vision. And then you got Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen. You know, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, respectfully. But yeah, I tell you, man, this movie though, yeah, this movie. Oh, you know, it's not the strongest of the Avenger films. It's not the strongest of the Marvel films. But you know, it's really not that bad though. It's really not that bad. I mean, people want to complain about the fact that they went to the farmhouse. They want to complain about the farmhouse. I mean, I mean, is the Avengers going to the farmhouse? Is it really that bad? I mean, it's no different than when the Ninja Turtles had to go to the farmhouse, right? I mean, when the Turtles got their asses kicked, they went to the farmhouse, came in as boys, left out as men. So yeah, it should be no different when the Avengers did it. I'm sure. I mean, that scene where Tony and Steve were chopping wood, and they were having a discussion about what would happen, if the if soldiers were, you know, um, um, can't look for the words. Um, you know, when a soldier go out and fight, you know, yeah, do they have I can't look for the words. Yeah. Yeah, is that the reason that is that the reason that they do go and fight? So, when they go, they can come back, they can come home, something like that. I cannot think of it right now. But yeah, Captain America, Steve Rogers, he had his he had his point. He had his point, and Tony had his point. Tony Stark had his point, and yeah, two very different views on the subject. Yeah, that's pretty much a very good setup to what Captain America Civil War has pretty much ended up being. So yeah, I tell you, man, seeing that little debate go down, you know, yeah, And yeah, you having to pick a side, you know. I mean, seeing that, you know, the whole farmhouse scene, seeing that, you know, there was really nothing. There was really no problem to it. I'm sure there was no problem to it. But I think that people would have a problem with was the fact that they tried to do this attraction between Black Widow and Hulk. You know, between Black Widow and Dr. Banner. They try to do this whole attraction angle with these two, you know. And yeah, you know, I agree. You know, that's one hell of a unlikely pair to lock into lock into when for some type of attraction. You know, very unlikely pair. You know, especially you know knowing what we know with Betty Ross is still out there. You know, so yeah, I don't know. You know, just the way just the way that they wrote the movie. But yeah, yeah, yeah. The farmhouse scene. Yeah, you know, he had his ups and had his downs. I mean, Linda Cardellini showing up. That's a big up. I mean, Linda Cardellini. What more you gotta say? I mean, oh yeah. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. Oh yeah, yeah. Elizabeth Olsen. Oh yeah, you know. I mean, what more you gotta say, right? So yeah, you know. So yeah, you know, yeah, the farmhouse. You know, Clinton Barton's his family house. You know, yeah, ups and downs. You know, and there will be some. You know, depending how you look at it. I tell you though, man. I tell you, you know, yeah, you know, with that, with that being the exception, you know, you had the creation of Ultron was originally supposed to have been Tony Stark's AI defense system. You know, yeah, you know, yeah, an AI defense system that Tony Stark created, and Ultron pretty much went self-aware, and yeah, he started to yeah, no, not only he thought for himself, but yeah, he unleashed an all-out attack on the Avengers during their nice little get together, their little nice little get together, nice little party. You know, the famous scene where Thor pretty much challenged the rest of the team to pick up his hammer, and only Captain America had the sucker nudged a bit. You know, and the look on Thor's face, and the you know, we saw that sucker nudge a bit. You know? So yeah, yeah, even when Tony trying to make the when we trying to make the effort and grab one of his mechanical gloves, his gauntlets, and tried to move it. He even tried had the try to have Rhodey move it, help him move it. Yeah, come on, you helping me out? Come on, I'm representing. Hey, both trying to move it with their mechanical gloves, He had an Iron Man glove and a War Machine glove, you know. So yeah, I tell you, man, you know, that was the levity of the story of this movie, you know, trying to remove Thor's hammer. But yeah, pretty simple. They're not worthy, you know. So yeah, I tell you, man. Yeah, you know, these guys showing that they're not worthy, you know. And then yeah, you got Steve Rogers, you know, being that guy. He pretty much is worthy, but yeah, we'll find that out much more later on, you know. Yeah, watch when I covered that movie back in November. So you know, you know, further down the line in November, watch when I cover that movie. Yeah, we'll see how worthy Steve Rogers really is in moving that hammer. You know, if you know, you know. But yeah, I'll tell you though, man, this movie, yeah, it really is a blast to watch though. I mean, yeah, you know, seeing Ultron, you know, evolve, you know, seeing him, you know, yeah, seeing him evolve, you know, and seeing him pretty much take over, you know, where you know with the age of Ultron, you know, much more different than what happened in the comics, much more different. You know, this is a good adaptation, but you know, the real age of Ultron, which happened in the comics, you know, what he did here, you know, it was pretty much a 2 day thing, you know, not much of an age, you know, just 2 days of destruction, and yeah, and a floating city. Yeah, a city is floating. They find a bunch of robots, and Hawkeye has a bow and arrow. None of this makes any sense. But you know, yeah, that pep talk he gave to Wanda, Wanda, you know, when she realized that she was doing wrong, you know, yeah, you know, Hawkeye, yeah, he gave her that pep talk, pretty much telling her, yeah, he gonna go find her brother, you know, try and bring her back, and try and bring him back. He gonna go find her brother, try and bring him back. But when she step out this room, she's an Avenger. Okay, she step out this room, she step out to kill. Okay, so yeah, yeah, Wanda, after realizing she was doing something wrong, she stepped out and she did something right, man. I tell you, yeah, she wrecked havoc. She stepped out and she wrecked shop. Okay, yeah, that girl took over. And yeah, speaking of characters that realized that they were doing wrong, her brother, her twin brother, Pietro, yeah, he was doing this thing too. I mean, show how cool he is. Yeah, you don't see that coming. So yeah, I tell you, man, I tell you, seeing the Maximoffs twins, do their thing, Wanda and Pietro, yeah, yeah, real good stuff, man, real good stuff. This movie is 100% damn good shit. Not the strongest of the Avengers films, but yeah, it's 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 one of the most memorable of the Avengers films. I could say that for sure. So yeah, 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 great action through and through. Yeah, we had this self-sacrifice and seeing Quicksilver get taken out by one of the Ultron's robots. So yeah, you didn't see that coming. Yeah, Wanda, she unleashed in full force. And seeing her pretty much rip out Ultron's heart, seeing her, symbolically, yeah, she pretty much ripped out his heart. So yeah, great stuff though, great stuff. Seeing the Avengers doing their thing, as a team, see them do their thing, taking on Ultron's hordes, Thor giving Ultron that challenge. Yeah, that's the best you can do. Yeah, so Ultron, he at least more of his hordes. Yeah, Avengers, they had that fight. So yeah, real good stuff, man. Real good stuff. You can't really sleep on this movie. You can't. You know. Yeah, yeah, good straight up solid. Real good straight up solid 4 out of 5. Age of Ultron is. That's my review, Jack, and I'm sticking to it. But now next week though. Next week, we got the NBA Finals going down, right? And it's the 30th year, the 30th anniversary of this live action / animated classic. So yeah, next week, everybody get up, it's time to slam now. You got a real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance. Do your dance at the Space Jam. All right. So you keep it locked right here for that. Check out all this shit right here and subscribe to me right here. In the meantime, between time, Jack, this show is off.